that you perhaps have been creating relationships that were based on codependency because you really wanted and craved love and partnership, and really you really wanted to be in a relationship. I feel like you're going to realize that more and more. You would already be in this energy because it was in your energy from the month of September, but now as we're doing October, I feel like you're really gonna understand that you need to spend next cycles healing. Do you need time? You need time. That's what I'm hearing. You need time to, you would understand. I feel like this collective, you know right now the pattern. You know, because you've been analyzing, right? We talked about this. You've been analyzing your relationships. You've been analyzing how you were connecting romantically to people. And I feel like you know at this point that it wasn't okay. You would have had these realizations already. But I don't feel you have a full understanding just yet. Where did it come from, right? So I feel like you're going to be opening the doors of truly starting to understand that maybe it was coming from your lack of self-esteem, lack of self-worth, maybe anxieties, anxious attachment style. Where does it come from? And you may go down that rabbit hole. Maybe not necessarily just yet, but I feel like you're going to start to understand next month that it goes a little deeper than you actually thought, that you need time to really, that you're never going to find a real deal, right? If you are if you're approaching things the way you were approaching things. And we have not today. So I feel like this collective, next month, the upcoming month, you will realize that you just, I mean, we never know what's going to happen, right? But I feel you're going to get to this point. Not today. I don't want to say like I'm done permanently, because I don't feel it's coming from a place of I'm done, right, with you. But I feel like you're realizing right now, I just don't want to date. It cannot happen today. I have to fix something within myself. I really need to clarify. I love this card, the creeping, because I'm hearing few things with this. So we're going to clarify. I feel like this may have been your energy, that maybe you have a little bit of jealousy within you, a little bit of controlling. So you were jumping into these relationships without truly knowing someone, and then you were realizing that you would never develop trust towards them. I'm hearing as well reciprocity. So I feel like maybe you were more of an open book to others than they were to you. And in few weeks or months of dating, they would know everything about you. You would know nothing of them. Because I'm also hearing this with this poker face, that you are, I'm seeing my octopus card from Animals deck, and octopus can have the tendency to be in everybody's business, but also to overshare. And you guys, in a relationship, in a mature relationship, we should be open, we should be vulnerable. But this is why I told you to watch that video that I've done about healthy dating and spiritual dating. But I feel like, yes, we have to be open, yes, we have to be vulnerable. But when someone doesn't know you, okay, it doesn't matter in what circumstance. Is it friendship? Even if someone comes to me on a healing session, right? You're a healer. I'm a healer. Obviously, you have to be vulnerable. You have to open up. Similarly, if you want to build a relationship with someone, you have to be vulnerable. You have to open up. But if someone tells you the story of their life on a first session or on a first date, it's a red flag. It only shows that you have dissociated yourself from some of your experiences, and perhaps that there can be many reasons, but it can be dissociation. It can be the deep need to be understood and to be seen, to seek validation, feeling that you have the need for people to understand who you are and where you're coming from, because you don't have that strong self of sense. Because in a healed relationship, like I said, even if it's romantic relationship or relationship you have with your therapist and with your healer, it sort of unfolds slowly. Because a healthy person, we sort of work in layers, right? We ease ourselves into certain things, right? So maybe you have a bit of a tendency to overshare certain things and to and I'm also looking at this risking. Remember what we said, that in the past you would think that it was just you courageously taking a leap of faith, and now you're understanding that you were just a gambler when it comes to love and when it comes to relationship. Let's do another row. You guys, the same, look how thick this deck is, and we have the same two cards that we have for you, and they came together, and previously they came separately, and I take it as a sign, ascending, and that's on top of date. You will change your perspective next month. It will really sort of a ground in your energy. I feel you will completely change your perspective on dating. Maybe there's a reason I keep sending you to watch that video. Maybe it will also open you up for certain things, because I feel like you will understand that dating is something that needs time. Maybe I'm also hearing that maybe a detail for some of you, that you've realized that you were rushing into relationships so much that you've actually deprived yourself that first phase when we're developing romantical friendship, when we're dating, when we're getting to know each other, when we're actually being wined and dined as women, which is very beautiful, you know. And when you jump straight into a relationship, and in true soul connections, romance and passion does never go away. But in karmic connections, it does. And the sooner you jump into a serious relationship, the sooner you deprive yourself of, you know, of that romance and you know, preparing and you know, choosing outfits for a date, and you know, being a bit of that mystery still with each other. But you will grow. You will really realize you're already in this energy, this collective. I feel like it's sort of going to be a smooth transition from September to October. We're going to have to do your November as well, this collective, because I'm really excited. I feel you're really going to be on that path of acceleration towards growth, self-realizations, same topics all the time, but you're going to be going deeper and deeper. Ship, moving away. You want to move away from this energy that I've mentioned. Really gambling, really, constantly taking chances with people, constantly risking it, constantly, and you know what? You know what I was hearing? It may be a detail. If you're dating a true divine masculine, it's not going to apply, but there are men in this world, and again, non-gender specific, but masculine energy, who are so deeply distorted that they actually listen to women from first dates talking about their dreams, their hopes, their aspirations, the lifestyle that they want to live, and they actually use it to gain your affection. I don't know what it would make sense for the right collective, because it's coming to my mind. It's like maybe you are reminiscing about this as well, that you started, saying to someone that you always dreamed about this, that you always dream about a partner who does this and this. And when you hit someone who is very distorted, perhaps even, I don't like to use the narcissistic word, but you guys, know that people throw it like on everyone, and there's really few people who are actually narcissistic. But maybe if they have egoistic traits and they're very manipulative, they're very distorted, they would use certain information that you would reveal to them too soon to manipulate you. I feel like you're understanding it's not about lying, it's not about being vulnerable, but when you get to know each other, first dates, maybe you should just talk about some of your passions and what you like. Don't necessarily go straight to your, your family and your job and your plans, and you know what I mean? You understand that what you were bringing into the dating world, your dating world, is not something that it's not something that it's healthy, and that you need to change as well. And it's a beautiful energy, you guys, because obsessed lover at the bottom of the deck. It's beautiful energy because so many people, you would be surprised, they constantly point fingers. And I see this in women a lot. Men are this, men are that, men are breadcrumbing us, men are not giving us commitment, men are not respecting us. There's a reason I was deviating in first part to that story that I told you about back in the day, right? We would have like throw the glove, watch the previous part. You are realizing now that you have to look towards yourself, because it's not just men. It's not all men. Whenever women, go ahead and say men are this and that, you know what I think? That's not my experience. I know many men who are wonderful, who are loyal, who are faithful, who are reliable, who are mature, who are self-aware. It's not my experience. So ask yourself, why are you attracting this? Because it's not all men. We cannot say anything about all men and all women, right? And I think you're realizing that instead of saying that all these men and this and that, now you're understanding that how you were approaching dating, how you were approaching dating scene, what you were giving in that relationship, the energy that you were emitting, it was just distorted as well. This is why I just heard you attracted these creeps. I was looking at the creeping. And maybe it is both ways, you guys, I'm hearing now. But hold on, because we have this commitment, and that's on top of not today. Remember what we said? I take it as a confirmation. You would know right now that despite the fact that this is what you want, eternity, commitment, forever love, you're not ready for it. Because you have to heal. You would be coming into realizations. And again, we're doing your next month. So for the right collective, you would really be sitting here and watching this and like, it makes sense, because you may not feel it just yet, but it's already in your energy. So that's going to be your focus in the next month, to really understand that if I don't fix certain things within myself, I will never attract someone who will give me this. Because I say this all the time, I know women, whether that's in my personal life or around me, or sometimes clients, that they go ahead and they say, men are this and that. I want a man who is loyal. I want a man who is ambitious. I want a man who's going to take care of me. I want a man. And then I ask them, not with judgment, not with harshness, right? But just a simple question. What do you have to offer? Because what we have to ask ourselves always, imagine this man, this divine masculine man, right? A man who is stable, who is loyal, who is the protector, the provider. He understands the divine flow. He is ready for commitment. He is ready for love. What kind of woman you think he deserves and he wants, right? He definitely doesn't want someone who is, jumping into things and, there's still balance that needs to happen within you. When we really want to find eternal love, everlasting love, we have to start asking ourselves, what do I have to offer, and how can I change to be the best partner? Because we're constantly in this mindset of wanting. I want. There is someone out there for you. Your highest, most aligned soul partner, right? So ask yourself, what do you have to heal and what do you have to change to really be aligned with that person, to make him happy, to create happy relationship, right? And with that creeping and that old school, what I was hearing, you would definitely know that it's something that this energy needs to go. You would be reminiscing. But remember, the first thought that I had when I saw this creeping is that maybe you were really like controlling, trying to, right? But I feel it may have been both ways. I feel like it would make sense again. I feel like trust would have been an issue in your previous relationships. But how can you trust someone that you don't know? Because you literally just met them and you jumped from a 0 to 100, and now you're in this relationship with someone and you don't know their background, their friends, their family, and trust is something that yeah, we have to give, but there's no healthy relationship without trust. I feel it would be a thing for this collective, that you're gonna realize next month. Maybe it will hit you. Maybe as I say it, it will already start to, because especially that we have this obsessive lover at the bottom of the deck. So maybe you had relationships that there was a lot of insecurity, a lot of jealousy, and it may be for a variety of reasons, you guys, because sometimes this is why I was seeing that it works both ways, because sometimes there are people who are deliberately creating sense of lack of comfort, right? True man, true divine masculine, he is the protector of your heart. He will want you to feel stable, so he will never do anything. So a real man, true divine masculine man, he will never say things to you like, oh, I just went to this coffee shop and this lady, I think she liked me, she's interested in me, right? He would never want to do this. True men will want you to feel secure that that you are the only person in his life, right? So sometimes it happens that people deliberately do that because they're so insecure that they like the attention. They like even their partners to fight over them, which is a distortion, right? But sometimes you may be, if you don't have that thing, that controlling and that jealousy healed, you may be in the best relationship with a divine masculine man, but you're going to be inventing stuff and thinking, then maybe accusing him or creeping and trying to do a little bit of that, right? What's going on there? Not a good energy. All right, I want to do maybe some guidance and your overall energy. What's the message from your guides? Let's do these, few of these, and then we're gonna do tarot on top of that. Heal your feminine. Heal your feminine. Yes, this collective, you weren't in your feminine energy because you were chasing, you were insisting, you were taking the role of the masculine in your relationships. The role of the masculine in your relationships. You have to heal your feminine energy. You have to understand the flow of, I have so much content about this, right? You have to really understand the yin and the yang. The yin and the yang. We have to first alchemize this internally and balance and heal our internal feminine and masculine. And then in a relationship, there's always something, even if it's not gender specific, there's always one part that rises into masculine and the other drops into the feminine. So in your relationships, you would not be in your feminine. Because you were, remember what I said about it? I don't know, right? You were the one that knew, that wanted, that was trying to build stability, that was determined, that was trying, that was seeking, right? That pursuing. Masculine energy. Healthy feminine embodies deep self-love and acceptance, which enables her to effortlessly create boundaries. She's powerful. Her heart is full of compassion and conditional love, patience. She sits in stillness. She trusts in the divine guidance she receives. You need to connect to your feminine energy. We have Ascension, which is beautiful. We have that card. That's a confirmation because we have that card for you. Remember, ascending, and we have that 2 times. This collective, you are on a path of acceleration. You are ascending. You were hit. I feel like maybe you even felt like it just hit you. It just hit you. I feel like your guides were sending you lesson and lesson and lesson and karmic and karmic and karmic. But ultimately, it's like this just really came and shifted your energy. So you could finally see certain things. So we can finally mature. And we have 2 energy points. We have solar plexus and we have sacral chakra. I feel like you need a bit of a clearance. 2 things are coming to my mind. Solar plexus is about our internal power, our internal fire. But solar plexus, first thing that came to my mind, unbalanced solar plexus is where codependency lives. You are codependent. You are in these relationships. You were probably, so afraid to lose that partner that you would do whatever they wanted, you would spend time however they would want it. It's just codependency. But I'm feeling more than anything, I'm hearing, you know what, that it's a emotional codependency. So you would probably you would be this person, this partner, that if your partner is in a bad mood, your partner is upset, your partner is stressed, you're adapting the same energies. You're adapting the same energies. And I say this all the time, you guys. Sorry, someone was messaging me. I say this to you guys all the time. When we feel the emotions of others, but we cannot let them go and move forth, even if this person is constantly in our energy, it's not empathy, it's codependence. It means that there are own emotions that are being reflected to us. So if you think to yourself that your partner is stressed, so you are stressed because you're an empath, no, you're not. If your partner is stressed, you should have compassion, you should support them through this. But if you yourself feel this stress as well, it means that it's your stress, right? And it's not empathy. And I feel like you're very codependent. So maybe if you would have moody partners, so someone who would get upset with you, or and we had some energy of manipulation before. So maybe if you had a partner who would treat you with silent treatment, or hot and cold, I feel like your day would depend on that. So it's like, when my partner is giving me silent treatment, I cannot move on, I cannot go on, I'm overwhelmed, right? Because you have this emotional codependency. You're not anchored strong enough in your own fire, in your own power, in your own emotions. And sacral, you guys, you know what I always say. Just if this is the first video you're watching, go to my TikTok, scroll through my YouTube. The recent Masculine Monday that we posted, I say this all the time. There's even a pinned video on my Instagram. People don't realize how much through intimacy we create energetic connections and energetic cords with everyone that we connect to. We absorb their traumas, especially women, because we receive through our sacral. So all the partners you've ever been with intimately, the energetic imprint of their traumas is in your sacral. I feel like you're going to be guided to really close these relationships. I have a lot of videos about how to close karmic contracts as well. And if you struggle, I don't want to make explanation about everything in every single reading, because they just become an hour and a half or 2 hours readings. But you can, I have a playlist about this on my YouTube, and you can also sign up for a session and we can really break this down. And I have a sacral cleanse program as well. That's the one that's pinned to my Instagram. But I feel like you need to do some work around your sacral and around your solar, and especially that these are lower chakras. So if you truly want to connect and heal your feminine and connect to your feminine power, this is basic. It has to be done. 9 of Inspirations. We're sort of doing your energy moving towards the next month, but yeah, I feel this collective, I feel there is a new beginning, energetic new beginning for you. You're gonna really, I think if you look at the beginning of this month and then you're gonna look at the end of November, that's what I'm hearing. Like these 3 months, September, October, November, they're really gonna be transformatory for this collective. You're gonna see a completely different person. There is energetic shift. We have the Empress at the bottom of the deck. Energetic shift within you happening. So you just have to trust, allow it to happen, heal, focus on these healings, right? Maybe do sign up for a session, whether with a shadow worker like myself, if that's what you resonate with, or a healing session, whatever you're guided. But I feel like some work on sacral and solar plexus should really be done. But you are shifting, energetically you are shifting, but right now, especially in the month of November, but I feel it's a good thing, you know. I feel this is actually something that's going to push you on the trajectory of healing. I feel that right now you are exhausted. You would just feel exhausted. I feel this collective, you probably didn't realize that you were in your masculine energy. You probably crave this love that is protection. You probably crave a man that would, you know, hold you and protect you and provide for you and be that container. But without you knowing, this is why also you've exhausted yourself. Because if we are forcing ourselves outside of our natural sort of a habitat, we're always exhausted. But I feel like you're realizing for how long you've been in a survival mode, that you've been trying to just, you know, fill in the gap that you were feeling of loneliness, of lack of love, of lack of wholeness. And it's something that you cannot ever do with another person. I feel you are this collective, you're changing, you're ascending, you are starting a completely new path. I don't think you even realize this. I feel your next seasons are going to be about you, growth, empowerment. I also feel as well releasing those relationships. I really feel this collective, you will have to properly close your karmic connection. So if you feel guided, watch these videos that I have on YouTube, because we close connections, karmic connections, on two levels: level of a karma and level of a lesson. Not all relationships carry level of karma, but they all carry level of lesson. You have to allow these cords to dissolve naturally. And I always say this is a collective. If you feel like you had, you know, relationships, like it was difficult, it was toxic, it was lessons, through healing, through closing these lessons, you can dissolve these cords yourself as you're going to be doing your healing, connecting more to your feminine, understanding that flow a little bit better. But if you had relationships that were very painful, very toxic, maybe even borderline abusive, the cords may be very strong, and you may need some assistance to remove this energy. We have the star, which is beautiful, but that's on top of that sacral. You really have to heal your sacral. And Ace of Voices, Ace of Emotions, self-love, thinking independently, seeing things differently, change of how you perceive things, how you see things. It's going to be a moment of month of aha moments. How could I not see that I didn't love myself in these relationships, that I didn't think independently, that I didn't see certain things? Hermit. Oh, that's really nice. Yeah, you guys, that's an important thing for this collective, really important thing. So I feel like you're going to continue. Remember, we said this, we had isolation cards in your first spread. I feel like you will embark on this journey of Hermit. But Hermit is not just isolation. It's an isolation where you really look inside of yourself to really heal, to really understand. You're going to be connecting deeper to your inner world. I'm feeling to your emotions as well, to that feminine side of you. You need rest, but not in the sense of physical rest. This collective, you've been chasing, I'm hearing chasing shadows. You've been chasing something that you could never find where you were chasing. This is why you exhausted yourself so much. This is why you're so tired. This is why it's this wounded, exhausted warrior that just doesn't, you have to attend to yourself now. And I feel like you're going to be connecting more to your intuition, connecting more. This collective, you really have the potential to conquer the key lessons planned for you in this lifetime that you were meant to learn. You have to connect deeper to your inner world, You've been so much in this mode of searching, this masculine mode. The masculine mode is the one that searches. The feminine stays in stillness. We find everything within. We don't search for anything. And we have 10 of voices, and 10 of voices is a card of pain and is a card of, suffering, but it's also the ending of the pains. It's this card of, and because it's on top of the star, which is healing, and it's all on top of that sacral chakra, right? It's making me think that you have to go through this finer closure with your ex-partner. Remember what we said, we're connected to our ex-partners. I feel you really, and I always say this, and it's such a mistake that people and women commit. They jump from one relationship to another because they think that, like, chasing something, the time is running out, that they want to be with someone, that they want to be happy. But you guys, if you don't properly cleanse your sacral, you're also not just harming yourself, but your future partner. If you have been with a partner who's been toxic, whose this relationship maybe was toxic overall, right? And you've maybe you've absorbed through your sacral all the trauma. If you don't properly heal that, if you don't properly cleanse that, you will transfer that through your sacral to your next partner. And it's not a fair thing to do. It's not a nice karma to create for yourself as well. So I always say this, before we jump into a next connection, we really have to properly cleanse ourselves from the past connections. How do we cleanse? We learn our lessons. We neutralize emotions related to that connection. We really understand what could we done better, what could have this person done better. We really feel the emotion to close it. We really feel the pain. We when we lose a relationship, even if we know that we no longer want it, there has to be some form of just mourning that relationship, saying goodbye to that relationship, expressing gratitude to everything that we've learned. There's always a learning opportunity in everything always happens for our greatest benefit. We just don't see it because we're stuck in the mindset of this physical world that everything has to be unicorns and rainbows. But what our soul wants is growth. Our soul is truly comes from a plane of existence that is truly neutral. The duality of good and evil, it's something that exists in this world. It doesn't exist on a level of awareness, right? So you have to feel your feelings. And I have a lot of, you guys, it's not just the sacral program. So I have this 6-month sacral program, the sacral cleanse program. It's an intense thing, but if you feel like that's a little bit too much for you, you can go to my website and check it all out. I also have shorter packages and offerings to release karmic partners, to release past karmic partners. So that can be useful for you as well. Again, it's always best to combine, shadow work sessions with the reason I create all these things is because I know that some people, they're not ready for true shadow work sessions, true, psychic sessions. So I want you to at least have certain tools that you can, that self-work, do things on your own, because you really have to release this collective. And we have death and rebirth, that with ascension, I feel like it's going to be another shift for you next month. And that's on top of that ace of emotions and ace of voices, that solar plexus. So I feel like you will start to really understand that everything that happened in the past, it was coming from lack of self-love. It was coming from lack of sovereignty, from lack of independence within yourself. All right, you guys, I hope this was helpful. A really beautiful month ahead. I'm proud of you already. The fact that you had all these realizations, you would be surprised how many people are stuck in this loop from karmic to karmic all their lives. Not all their lives, sometimes lifetimes. So I know it's hard right now, but pat yourself in the back, because you are where you are. It only means that you have to a certain degree awaken to the truth of life, that we cannot be jumping from one relationship to another. We're energetic beings. We come here to learn lessons, not just to have shallow relationships because we feel like we deserve this. It's entitlement. We're here to, again, just switching this mindset, not what I want from life, but what I can give to all these people, what kind of partner I can be, right? And again, if you are jumping to another relationship from previous one before you properly closed the chapter with this person on an energy level, on a spiritual level, it means that you're just self-centered, because you're not considering that you're transferring all this energy to your next partner, that the person you're gonna spend time with, that you're gonna be exchanging sacral energy with. So the fact that you know this, it just shows the growth of your soul. So pat yourself on the back. You're doing really amazing. And I'm gonna write this down in my little calendar to make sure to, for this collective, we also gonna do, I color code my collective so you can find that. I will also do in 1 month, maybe I'll have another reading for you in between that, but I'll definitely do month of November, because I feel like these 3 months, they're going to be very important. September, October, November once again. So we're doing now month of October. We're going to do month of November next time, so we can save that, or and come back in a month. We're definitely going to do that, and you wouldn't believe the person you're going to become. I'm already proud of you. I love you. Bye.